looking back at how you started and then where you are now and where you're looking to go in the future. Plus, tech is always evolving, it's changing.
Yeah.
What if there was one advice you would give?
I think it matters because it's always good to have people that you surround with that could be going through something that you're going through. Because at the moment, we are sending out, so we're doing the pipeline now. So those that didn't make it through get their emails. Those that didn't get to that stage get their emails. So there was one startup that didn't handle it very well and they posted their rejection in the Discord. Like just posted the email through, and so obviously I went into panic mode. So like Tech Central, Cointelegraph, Coindesk, and then I'm also signed up to Tech Safari's newsletter because I like to keep up to date with what's happening because they cover.
I've come to believe that some of the most interesting people in tech didn't plan to be there. They didn't follow a clear roadmap, but somehow they found their way. They made their space, they created their space, and they continue to make impacts. Aneeqah is one of those people. This is a story about finding your lane, even when it wasn't your first plan. And honestly speaking, those are the ones I find the most interesting. If someone stopped you walking down the street and someone stopped you and asked, "Hey, Aneeqah, who are you? What have you spent your life doing or for the past few years?" Like, how would you answer that question?
Okay. Yeah. But well, honestly, it's just been everywhere, if that makes sense. Like I thought I was going to do one thing and I ended up in something completely different to what I thought I was going to do. Like, for example, I actually wanted to do interior designing and interior decorating. So, what I'm doing now is completely off that. Like, because my high school didn't offer anything to do with what I wanted as a subject. So, I thought, okay, let me take geography to do with, weather and land, and it somewhere plays a role in interior design or decorating. And then I thought, okay, with CAT, so CAT was computers, applications, technology. That was like our IT subject. And I thought, okay, if I take that, that way I know I at least have the skill set like to be on the computer for interior design and everything. But then I think for those 3 years, every year I just got distinction after distinction, and like my scores were quite high for it. And then after school, again, I didn't get anything with interior, but I then did higher certificate in informations. Yeah, so then I did that. I did my higher certificate, and from there I went into my diploma for applications development. And with that as well, I did quite a lot. And then I did like this workshop with I don't think it's Girls in Tech. I think it's Girls in Tech. I'm sure. Yeah, it's Girls in Tech. And then that's how I found WCO. Like they used to partnership with them, and then they went through like a whole lot of CVs. So I applied, not thinking, okay, I'm gonna get it because I was so scared. I was like, this isn't what I've done before. How am I gonna work? And what if I'm not able to actually do what they want me to do? And I was like panicking, but then they're like, okay, no, we can work with you because I think that with doing IT, it just puts you in a place of like, oh, that's how that works. Like, can we see how this works? Or how are we gonna get to that? Or if we do this, that's the output that we're gonna get, type of thing. So that's how I actually got into where I am now. Like it's completely off of what I wanted to do.
Looking back at when you
Mm-hmm.
first started and now where you are now, um, what advice would you give right now to anyone who's unsure about tech or their place in tech or what they would possibly how to start tech or what they want to do in tech? looking back at how you started and then where you are now and where you're looking to go in the future. First, tech is always evolving, it's changing.
Yeah.
What if there was one advice you would give, or maybe one advice that you have heard about?
Okay. Okay. What advice I would give is like don't limit yourself. So if you've learned something in a specific field, don't just stick to that.
Mm,
Because like you mentioned now, tech is always evolving. It's always going to be something new, something that you need to adapt to. If you limit yourself to just that, you're not gonna, how can I say, branch out. You're gonna be stuck. And then if something new comes along the way, you can be like, no, I don't know that because this is what I know. So I think that if you have that mindset of there's always something that you can learn and there's always something that you can better yourself with. Because like with me, I only know, or my diploma is in software development, so applications development software. But I also thought that, like now with AI, with when I started, I knew nothing about Bitcoin. I knew nothing about crypto. I knew nothing. And then you get my boss that's like, okay, why do you think Bitcoin's down today? I'm like, okay, wait, I just need to go look quickly. Why? Like, but now, like, we're doing courses, we're doing, like, just if you are willing to go out and learn, if you are willing to go that extra step of, okay, if I finish this course, then at least I know this. Like, if somebody asks me, um, like now with the incubator, with the startups, like I'm doing courses on CFI, which is like your three-statement modeling, like your evaluation, all of those stuff, so that I am able to then, if there's questions, I can answer as well. Like you need to be willing to go that extra step of, if I do this course, it's for me, it's an advantage, it's a benefit, just to help me with the next step that could come my way.
mm.
I hope that answers the question.
Oh no, definitely. There's a lot to go on there, and I think one of the takeaways that I'm getting from there is to always be curious and
Yeah.
always look to self-improvement is very important. Is
I
ever
have a I actually have like an example. It's like, say you get your driver's license. Yes, you've got your driver's license, but it doesn't mean that you can drive. It doesn't mean that you're now an expert at driving. You still have to experience it. You still have to go through all of that to know. So just doing that is so like knowing that you still need to learn along the way, not thinking, okay, I've done it. Like this is it. Like just knowing I need to experience, I need to learn. There's more out there that I need to grow off of, if that makes sense.
Yeah, yeah, no, no, totally. That's actually that's a very great and simple example to just to correlate the two, like getting a driver's license. Just because you have a driver's license, woohoo, that doesn't mean you're like you're,
Yeah.
you know. Uh, so now in the in the world of tech and crypto, blockchain, and the rest, there's this overwhelming theme of community. It's all about having great communities to surround yourself with because you can't know persons in the island
Yeah.
sorts. Well, why, in your opinion, why do you think community building matters in the space in the tech world?
I think it matters because it's always good to have people that you surround with that could be going through something that you're going through. So if you're having a problem with learning something, there could be someone else as well that's going through the same thing, but they know a way to get through it that you could benefit from. So say for example, you and I own a community and I could be struggling with stable coins, or I could be struggling, but you maybe are so qualified and such an expert on this that you could then help me. I think it's a great benefit for everyone to be in a community because it helps you grow and being in a familiar surrounding, if that makes sense. Because there's people that know, that understand that what you're learning could be something that they're learning or somebody else is learning, and just I think it's helpful. And like, say now with a Discord community, you could post a problem that you were struggling with. Someone in there could know, okay, I've dealt with this last week or the week before, or maybe even 2 months ago. This can help you. Like, if you go and research this, like, not a way to help everyone. And in a way, it's like like just having your own like family there. Like, okay, wait, I can't find this. Let me quickly ask them. Somebody may know, or if they don't know, they could know of someone that does do this or that can help. And it's a way to actually build relationships as well. And even if maybe you know if someone is looking for a job, like, okay, wait, I know someone is looking for this person in this specific field. Let me reach out to them. I think it's really good to have that type of relationship with people in the community. If that's fine.
No, that is awesome. I remember when we went through the Lisk program and engaging with the community, seeing what other people were building in the space in Africa was wow. It's actually I was amazed and I was I was quite blown away. And then now moving to the Discord group, even till date, and seeing the communities, other individuals coming in, both oldies and OGs and just kind of getting
Yeah.
yeah getting a feel of how people are interacting in the space and challenges they might be facing, but now trying to be more intentional. Okay, I'm joining this community because I'm interested in this space and I really want to
Yeah.
interact or possibly make some connections or maybe ask some questions because it's so awesome when you can connect with people online, but then that's at times that's one-on-one or physical presence is completely different. It's completely different.
Yeah.
Doing some trainings in the tech factory, and one thing we noticed, especially with the trainees, because they're taking different courses from cybersecurity, AI, machine learning, front end, and the rest. And most of them are not necessarily coming from a full-on tech background, but now they're looking to
Yeah.
kind of embrace that space. And one thing that's people need is a community to actually bounce ideas off. That's that sense of okay, I have a community, I have a group around me that I can rely on or talk to about things, and it's always great. It's always great. Hmm.
Yeah. I think that like even with the incubators that we ran, we always thought, or we suggested that the next one that we do, we should have a social before we actually start. Because that can also help build that relationships not quicker, but easier. Because yes, online you can message and be like, hi, I'm so and so from this startup and I'm based in Cape Town. Then you get another person that's also based in Cape Town, so you build that relationship online. But I think that if you did it in person, like, oh, hi, I'm so like doing this, it's so cool. And then having that relationship in person and taking it online just makes it easier as well. Like you've built the foundation of I've met you in person, I know how you are, I know how to approach you. So when I message you online or message in the community and be like, I met this person, oh, it's so cool. Like we spoke about this topic and everything, and it just makes it like comfortable and in a space where you could just be like, oh, let me just talk to you. I need to just tell you something. Like, I learned this today, or I got this certificate today, and oh my word, my startup got into this incubator, or I got the grant, and it just makes it a nice and comfortable way to communicate in that community as well.
What's something that what's something that you're excited about, or maybe that you're very a rabbit hole that you're going down trying to explore? That's one. And the second one is where do you tend to go to get your information about news? Yeah. So I have this thing. I love using YouTube. I have a particular YouTube channels I love to go to listen to news in the space, be it Morning Brew or even what's it called? My First Million is like a podcast that talks about so many things in the business world and tech space as well. So for you, so two questions. What's something that you're excited about happening in the tech space or in the world in the news? And then second one, where do you normally go to get your own news or information?
Okay, I'm actually gonna swap it around. I'm gonna start with where I get my, my news from. So currently, most of because I do our newsletter. Stuff is from like Tech Central, um, Cointelegraph, CoinDesk, and then I'm also signed up to Tech Safari's newsletter because I like to keep up to date with what's happening because they cover mostly Africa. So things that's happening in Africa, a lot of these stories is about like Nigeria, Kenya. So they a lot of these stories are there. So I like to get my content from them as well. And then I don't know if you know of Milk Road.
No.
They also like a newsletter that I read. So I like to do in our newsletter like a interesting fact each week. So this week I did about tariffs and basically how do they relate to crypto. Like yes, tariffs is more in your tax and your economy, and that's had nothing to do with your Bitcoin and your crypto stuff. But I like to address or inform people that's not in Web3 as well.
Mm,
So last week I did things besides Bitcoin that is like in the top category and then what's like so you have your AI, you have your NFTs, like those things. So I like to approach it in a way that you explain to people that don't know about crypto as well, or that is not in the Web3 space. Because I mean for my newsletters, what I do is I have like these topics, and then I would go to my mom and be like, "Do you know what this is?" And if she doesn't know, then I'm like, "Okay, wait, I just need to like reword this again." And then with this
mm,
week's story, she was like, "Oh, I didn't know about tariffs. I didn't know that they relate to crypto in such a way." And she's like, "This is so interesting. Like now I know how to do this." Okay, and then Pop One's question was what exciting news? Oh, okay. So for me, with what's happening now, we have our incubator coming up. So that like everything is happening now. So that's quite exciting. And like I said, we're doing courses at the same time, like just to better ourselves for that. Um, like I said, I did the three-statement modeling course. I had no idea what was in there, but I just know it links to this one, it links to that one. But now I understand like how everything needs to be balanced out in your company. Because like they say, I think the main question in there was, do you do company health checks? It's the same as when you go to the doctor. They're not gonna just say, okay, this is wrong with you. You have to check everything. Like that, it's the same with your company. You need to check this is balancing, this work is right, or your employees are happy. You need to check every aspect of that within your company, like the same as when you go to a doctor. A doctor's not gonna tell you one way, this is what's wrong. They're gonna ask you, do you have a headache?
mm.
Are you dizzy? Is this is like when you stand up too quick, like is that why you get like all of those things the same way you need to do a company health check thing. So that was quite exciting. And then in the world, you're putting me on a spot here, eh? I have to like think now what there's so much happening.
In your neighborhood, maybe in your city.
Okay, that's even worse because that just shows that I haven't paid attention. That's even worse. Oh, one of the stories that I did you see for the UAE, ChatGPT is free for all of the residents. Like,
Oh,
did you see that?
no.
Imagine you just got ChatGPT for free and you just can do it's free for all the reasons. See, that shows you didn't read my newsletter.
Ah, got me. You got me. Yeah.
That shows you didn't read my newsletter.
You
Yeah,
got me.
because I think it was with OpenAI and Stargate.
Huh.
Yeah, they did a partnership, so all the residents and then you get ChatGPT for free. It seems like we're gonna have to move to get ChatGPT for free.
Hey, I'm all for that. Wow, okay, that's that's interesting. Wow, I didn't know that. Hmm.
Yeah, sure. You must sign up to my newsletter so you can be up to date.
Well, okay. It's normally the newsletter, because I know I normally see like the news on the Discord groups or where.
Mm.
Okay.
So you are on our current one, are you? The
Yes.
new one? Are you on the alumni? You part of the
Yeah.
alumni channel, right? So I know you should have access to the industry news channel.
Yeah.
So in there every week I post our newsletter. So it's like a shorter version, but if you click on the link, then it takes you to the whole newsletter. You
Uh,
also see that Lisk. Lisk partnered with Five West, so they dropped the Alzar as well. So
I saw that.
that's interesting.
I think was it. I saw it this week. That was. I saw that this week. I saw that news. I think
Yeah,
sometime this week.
that was this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, kudos to
Hey. And I only realized halfway through this that the name is showing as Lisk Incubator Program. I didn't even change it. Oh my word.
But that's cool. That's cool. You're representing the Lisk team
Oh.
because
But
I
I think that when I clicked the link, so I have Zoom, but the Zoom is signed in on my CVVC, so it automatically went in and made the name Lisk. But before it showed my name.
a lot like I also mentioned, a lot of people right now in our community are individuals that are trying to really come into the space. They're not fully, I mean, they might be tech savvy in their own right, but now they're trying to become more, engaged in the space. And at times, it's not, oh, speak to this main person. It's at times, who are those people in the background that you don't get to talk to? They have more information about everything, like the works and how things are going on. And hearing their stories at times actually is a great way to say, okay, everybody mustn't be the main attraction of sorts. Even the main attraction needs supporting anchors to actually get things moving, and it's all about community building. Through the whole program, the one thing I really appreciated about anytime I sent you a message or engage with you, first you always responded at least within a day, and always try to give feedback or follow up. Yeah, and it's always refreshing, at times, even if the feedback is good or bad or whatever it is, just to get a response back, it's always great. It leaves a lasting impression, like, okay, awesome. And then also the posts in the groups, and actually trying to manage a community as well, people management, and just trying to get people engaged, and you're trying to hype people up.
That that's another level. Like, because I know that for me, I need to make sure that the Discord is always active. It needs to be that people want to speak in it, that people want to. So when I post my newsletters, I'm like, psst, where do you get your sources from? And then I'll post the newsletter, like just to make it that it's not, okay, I need to be formal, I need to be professional, I need to be like, just talk, like, just say, like, a lot of the people now are like, oh, who else is based in South Africa? Who's based here? Who's based in Cape Town? Like, they are being more active now. And I think that when you have to manage that, you need to keep in mind that you need to be like these boundaries as well. Because I saw this one incident where, because at the moment, we are sending out, so we're doing the pipeline now. So those that didn't make it through get their emails. Those that didn't get to that stage get their emails. So there was one startup that didn't handle it very well
Oh,
and they posted their rejection in the Discord.
oh,
They just posted their email through, and so obviously I went into panic mode. So I was like, okay, I need to remove this because if people see this, it's not gonna go well. And I then just sent them a message directly and said, because I mean, not everyone wants that type of feedback in that way. So I try to do it that if you're not managing well, if you're struggling with something, I will rather message you directly so that if it's something you don't want other people to see, it's better that way. And I think people find comfort that way as well. Like, because I know there was a guy that didn't make it to the applications. Like, application closed already and they joined and they were like, oh, they're so sad that they didn't make it in time. So I said, it's fine. Like, if you go on our website, we have an interest link. You just submit your information there. At least that way we have you in the database for next time. And they were like, oh, thank you so much. Like, as long as we know that you have that type of thing, like, it's just communicating with them. And I like that if they are pleased with how I communicate, then that's fine. Like, because I mean, everyone goes through things differently and you need to be able to respect that as well.
or how did you become a good communicator? or when handling people, both online and offline?
Okay, so I must say that I was very bad. Like I was very in my shell. Like before even working with W3O, I always had that of if you don't talk to me, I don't need to talk to you. Like if I need to talk to you, I will talk to you. But I was always in that space of like, oh no, like I don't need to. Like I'm not gonna see you again. It's fine. Like I don't need to speak to you. But when I was in a space of I didn't know anyone, or like so I thought, okay, I need to make a connection with someone here. I need to make a relationship somewhere because I was all alone. Like I didn't know how and so what I would do is I always found like a common thing or a common ground or something. Like if I was just standing in line and there was someone, then I was like, oh no, how come you here? And then like, no, like I am supposed to finish or I'm supposed to submit this. And like me too, like there's just one thing that I was struggling with and I couldn't like, oh me like just something that like cause like with studying, I was on Miss Fest and I met two girls there. Like she was just standing there. I was like, okay, I'm also just standing here. Then we go, and I just asked like, oh, you were so waiting for your feedback. She's like, yeah, I've been waiting for like 3 weeks. I thought I just come in person. So like me too. Like they haven't responded in so many months, and like now I have classes starting. So what's happening? Like, do I need to pay fees or they? You know, she's like saying like she's doing part-time work and she don't think she can afford. And that's how I just made a friend. Like that's how that started. And I think with now with working, I just had to put myself in that space of I need to talk to people. Because when we had people coming to the office and wasn't there, which meant I need to fill that role of I need to communicate with those people. So there was a few times we had interns that came and I would just be like, hi, like, hi, I'm Aneeqah. Nice to meet you. You can have a seat. And they're like, fun with that. I'll ask you on water. No, I'll be like, okay, I can offer you coffee, but I don't know how to make coffee. So what are we gonna do? Like that type of thing. Like, and then because we used to have this coffee machine in the office, and I didn't know how to work it. I'd be like, I can offer you water. I can offer you sparkling water. I can offer you tea. But if you ask me for coffee, we can have a problem because I don't know how to work the coffee machine. And then that would just like relax them
Mm.
and make it easy and then just that's how we then get into a conversation or like just even um my colleague's cousin came to the office one and I've never spoken to him before and he was just standing listening to Rish talk and I was like, okay, do you know what he's talking about? And I was just like, you must answer because I'm not gonna answer, so you have to. And then that's how I just started talking to him, like, because I've never met him before, and that's just how I. So I tried to like break it in a way, like the ice, because I mean, like with you guys, like I've never spoken to you guys before, but I had to because it was for work, and it's just that if I just be like, oh, you know, good, thanks, and like, oh, it's cold, like, like just mentioning that it's cold, it makes people think, oh, well, yes, it's like I'm also getting cold, like it's freezing, like I have 4 pairs of socks on my feet is still cold. Like, how do you manage? Like things like that. So I don't even know if that answered your question, but that's how I just got into that. And then with incubator, I think I try to pick out things that you guys like mentioned. Like I know that with you guys you moving into a new office. And
Yeah.
like that was a big thing. I didn't like that's just how we could speak. Like it's something that you guys mentioned and I took note of that. And it's just okay, next time I must ask them, how's that going? How's the office going? Like, you
Mm.
know, things like that. You just try to find something and then stick with that and that's how you just build on that. Same with Africa Ball. Like I've never spoken to him, but he messages, he's like, oh, I haven't seen your face. We miss your Zoom calls, like just catching up to know how things are. Like that.
Mm.
Yeah, that's how I got into that.
So that's to be intentional about it. And it can be just waiting in line, out in the world and just start striking up those micro conversations kind of builds up in preparation for when you actually want to really connect with people. and of course, even the micro conversation, you're connecting with people, but it's kind of like the warm up before the main event because yeah, communication is key. We communicate whether personal, professional, whatever it might be. Nika, thank you so much. Wow, this was awesome. It was fantastic.
Yeah. No, thank you for having me. I'm still in a bit of shock that you'd ask me, but it was a pleasure and I'm honored that you'd even think of me as well.